Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching another episode of the Pret Show. I'm Pret, and today we're going to talk about posture. And my guest for that topic is Andrew Poletto. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, and hello, Brett. Nice for you to invite me on for your show today.
Yeah, thank you for joining because this topic has been in my mind for a while. As always, we go right into it.
Okay.
And why it's been in my mind? Because I walk in the streets or in a store and I see those older people who walk like this.
Mm-hmm.
They just walk like this. They can't, for whatever reason they have with their posture, they can't hold their backs back anymore.
Right.
And I was like, in my mind always was like, what do I have to do now in my 40s, my early 40s, to make sure I'm not going to end up there?
And
I
that
don't
makes,
want
makes sense.
to. I
Yeah.
don't want to have that kind of problem when I'm getting older, or even now. Like, so what do people have to look up for to
Okay.
have a good posture, and what they have to start paying attention to?
Well, the main thing with posture, the way I present it, the way I look at it, and the way I tell people about it, is has a lot to do with two things. One is diet, and and,
Oh,
and two is your your stomach work, your stomach muscles, your abs, however you want to phrase it. I'm not
okay.
saying to eat a salad every day or eat salads every day and do 1,000 sit-ups a day. That's not what I'm talking about. What I
Mm-hmm.
am talking about when it comes to nutrition is if you eat healthy, your body's going to respond to being healthier.
Mm-hmm.
And when your body responds to being healthier, all of a sudden you have more of I like to say more of a confidence because you're all of a sudden you feel better and you walk upright because
Okay.
to me it's a mindset thing. Yeah, it may not be to everybody's that does this, but without fail, I can tell you a lot of folks who started eating correctly, they started losing weight. They started and I'm not saying it's a weight thing. I'm just saying that eating correctly, all of a sudden their body starts reacting in a positive way. They start losing weight. Their confidence builds up, and all of a sudden, boom, their posture,
Well,
they're more upright because they're wanting to present themselves to the world, so to speak. I mean, that's
mm-hmm.
just a natural human thing. If you don't feel good about yourself, you're naturally going to be slumped over as you're presenting yourself to somebody. That's just the human nature. That's just the way it is.
Wow,
Now,
I never even thought about it this way. I thought it was just, and I didn't think about like your core muscles. I was thinking about your back, like you have to do something
hmm
with the shoulders.
hmm
And
yep.
I didn't even think about how the food is also related to it.
Oh yeah. The core muscles, and I am sure there's people out there who will debate me on this. I'm sure there are, but I don't think they're going to get very far because almost everybody that has anything to do with fitness, and I have, as you know, we talked about this. I have a fitness podcast, live stream, and stuff as that as well. The core is, lack of a better term, is the central location. Of course, it isn't in the human body as well. It's a central location. So the core, your core muscles, have a lot to do with just about everything. Posture as well. Right away, when somebody thinks of posture, they think, like you were talking about, the back muscles, which is
Mhm.
fine, which is great. You need to develop back muscles as well. And I'm not saying to become a bodybuilder and have your back comes up to a V and you have muscles bulging out everywhere. But the human body, and I promise I'll make everything come around here. The human body was designed, and I don't care what your beliefs are, whether it's religion, evolution, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so forget that. I'm
Mhm.
talking the human body is designed to move. It's designed to run, walk,
Mhm.
bend, push, pull, stretch. This. It's designed to move. It is not designed to be sitting down or laying down all day long. So
Mhm.
because of that, once you start utilizing what you're designed to do, whether that be you could be the person that's on the couch for 10 years and all of a sudden you need to start doing something. If you just get up, walk around the house and come back down, you're using your body as it was intended to do. Once you
Mhm.
start doing that, muscles start developing. And again, I'm not talking about the bodybuilder type. I'm just talking about the muscles
Mhm.
being used. Once they're being used in the proper way, the body's going to start saying, "Hey, you know what? I remember this. I'm supposed to be like this." So moving your body is a key. Once you start moving your body, your core has to start engaging itself. Whether you're doing the sit-ups, whether you're doing crunches or not, once you start doing something, your core will automatically engage. Maybe not to the way it should be, but it's going to have to. It's part of the body movement. So going, like I said, I was going to go full circle here.
Mhm.
So have this all tied in with the posture. Once your body starts moving and once the core muscles are engaged, all of a sudden your body's going to start doing stuff it's supposed to do. So
Mhm.
that's the number one thing is engage the core and engage the body in some way, shape, or form with the muscles and the core. So that's one way. Now you mentioned that you see a lot of people hunched over as they're
Mhm.
walking. That may come with age. It may come with some sort of muscle stuff going on with them. Depends on the age. Now, if we're talking somebody in their 40s, 50s, I'm in my 50s. Um, Usually it's not so much a skeletal problem or a muscular problem. It's more of how do I want to phrase this? More of a their body is used to doing that. Like you said, they're hunched over at their desk doing stuff all day long.
Mhm.
Or nowadays with the cell phones, as the people are walking, they're looking at their cell phones, and so they're as they're walking around. I also do stuff at a local high school, so I see kids all the time walking around with their phones, fingers on their phones, but and their heads down and their back arched the wrong way. I see your cat there.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny. So and I would love to say let's everybody get rid of their phones, but that's almost an impossibility now in this day and age. You can't do that anymore.
That's what
But
I like. I interrupt you for a second.
sure,
When I
sure,
see
sure.
my daughter on a phone and her head goes like this, I always remind her, put your head back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. I used to be a ballroom dancer. I was a competition ballroom dancer. Lower levels. I'm not very good just at the lower levels. So
Mhm.
in ballroom dancing, posture is huge,
Yes.
huge
Yeah.
posture in ballroom dancing.
This is like the
Also,
biggest thing.
also in swing dancing and stuff of that sort. West Coast swing, especially. That's I got into that as well. One of the things my instructor used to tell me, and I don't know if we can visual see this or not, is stand straight up. Okay. But then beyond that, to get the posture right, you have to, what I call, and what she was calling, roll your shoulders. So take your shoulders and visualize this, taking them and bringing them down, and then like a circle, roll them back and hook it down like basically just let it rest on your shoulders. So as you stand up, visualize your shoulders going in a circle with the end being in the back. So just roll your shoulders back, and all of a sudden you're straightened up.
Mhm.
So once you understand that, and once you see how your total posture changes, if you can remind yourself to do that more and more. And I'm not talking directly at you, Pri. I'm talking to anybody. When I say you,
Mhm.
anybody who's listening.
Yeah.
Do that little visualization where you're just rolling your shoulders back, and instantly your posture's got to go up. It has to.
Mhm.
It's just the way that it is. Even if you're sitting in your chair, you do that.
Mhm.
You can do that because a lot of folks like us on the computers all day long doing internet stuff.
Yeah.
We are constantly typing, typing away in front of us, and so
And we lean forward.
leaning forward, right? Now, also with me sometimes, and excuse me if this is going to be a little bit of a noise, but when I do my live streams and podcasts, I lay back like this, and talk because that's what I do. I have a different podcast just
Mhm.
just for laziness. Is this good posture? Absolutely not. No, not at all. So then I also have to come back up, and when I do, I push myself off of my up in the chair, and I make sure the top of my butt, for lack of a better term, is pushed up against the chair. So and then I can feel my back will go back against the chair. Now my chair leans back, so it's not good. But if you have a hard back chair, you want to rest your back on the chair as well. So as you roll your shoulders back, put your back against the chair. All of a sudden, you're sitting straight up. If
Mm-hmm.
on the if you're looking like this is where you're sitting, your back is straight up. Is that the most comfortable? No. One, we're not used to it, and two, I don't know if that's exactly how at a right angle the body's supposed to be. I don't think it is. But you understand what I'm saying is you just
Mm-hmm.
keep your back against the chair. Now, is it going to be sustainable all day long? If you're just starting out, absolutely not. It won't be because you're not used to it, and your body's saying, "Hey, wait a second, let's back off. There's something going on there. I don't like it." So your
Mm-hmm.
body's going to force a little bit of uncomfortableness. If you want to call it pain, go for it, whatever. But it's not going to be comfortable. So eventually, it's going to want to slouch back to where it is. The whole key to correcting your posture, in my opinion, again, totally my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not. I don't play one anywhere. I'm just saying what I've determined, what I've done for myself. The whole key is to be alert and aware of what you're doing. If you have to give yourself a note to put on your computer or on your phone, not I guess you're not going to put a note on your phone like a notepad or something, saying, "Hey, straighten up." So every so often you're going to look at it and say, "Oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to straighten up." And
Mm-hmm.
eventually your body's going to want to go back down to where it's comfortable. But if you
Mm-hmm.
keep playing that game, that little tug of war, eventually you're going to be more conscious about how you're sitting in the chair. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to put a reminder on your phone every 15 minutes, hey, quit slouching. Oh, it says ding, it's
Mm-hmm.
on your phone. I say, okay, one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So
I even think like even if they put it like the note in their refrigerator or something, because when they go like or somewhere where they pass by and they notice their mirror, something like this, and when
mhm.
they pass by, they will read it and they do it. They get the pusher back. One thing that I liked as well, what you were pointing out, and for the viewers, I always thought that just putting shoulders back. But now when you're saying that rolling it back like this, that
Yeah.
actually gets you to the right posture
Yeah,
because
it's a whole
yeah,
just lifting it is one thing, but when you visualize a circle coming around and then resting them on your back, it's a whole different feeling. Do
yes, it
you
is.
think it is? Have you
Feels
done
different.
it?
It feels differently and feels more natural too. If you
Yes.
pull it and
Yes.
then put it down, then it
Mhm.
feels more natural and it's easier than to just like push it back.
Yep, yep. My very first dance instructor to help with my posture at the time. This is funny, and she had never done this before. I was actually her first student as well. So as my
Mhm.
first teacher, I was her first student. So we was both the guinea pigs for each other. She says, "I'm going to try something." She got a broomstick and put it through my shirt, so my arms were constantly up like this as we were
Mhm.
doing it. So with a broomstick on your back here in your shirt, you can't slouch. You're up the whole time because
Mhm.
your shirt is like that. So that was I don't recommend doing that, but it's just funny because every so often I haven't seen it for 10 years, but when we do talk, we always bring that up and we laugh about it because that's something very unconventional.
Mhm.
But if you want to um, test yourself or you want to put yourself in a weird position, do that. Your posture has to be up when your shoulders are up like this and a broomstick's in there. You're not going to get much done, but you can walk around with a broomstick in there. But yeah, it will help out your posture. That's for certain.
Yeah, or even not a broomstick, but like buy some kind of other stick then. But I see now they also have, and that's another tool that people can use, viewers can use, is the one that they sell like special straps. They sell special straps you can put in your back, and that
Hmm.
lifts you back up as well.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that's another tool people can use.
Yep.
Hmm. Because it is really important for workout and everything. You poster
Posture. Yeah.
posture.
It's okay.
Yeah, I still try to struggle to pronounce it properly. So it is so important while aging, while doing a workout and aging. You teach mostly, not mostly, but you focus a lot to the aging, like 50 and more
I focus
workout.
on the fitness over 50. And I say my motto is look better, feel better, gain some confidence. That's it. I
Mhm.
tell folks all the time, if your goal is to show off your body on stage somewhere, which is a fantastic goal. I have several friends that do that, and it's great. I'm probably not the guy you want to talk to because I don't train that way. I don't teach that way. I like the and I developed this kind of training method, if you will. Talking to a lot
Mhm.
of my friends growing up, they just want to look better, feel better, and once you look better and feel better, you're automatically going to gain some confidence, as we talked
Mhm.
about before, because your body all of a sudden
Exactly.
is in a different light. So that's who I focus on, and I use common sense. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is body weight exercises. I
Mhm.
love the body weight type style exercises. I'm not against the going to the gym or anything, but I just like the body weight stuff because it's easier for most people to do body weight stuff. I should say easier. It's more convenient because you can do it in the comfort of your own home.
Mhm.
Yep.
And they say that is important as well. Somebody talked with and a show said it's really important for women over 40, the like the weight,
Hmm.
because like the tone of your muscles and all the thing that matters after
Yep.
it when you're aging, it gets more loose or less.
Yep. 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 And again, I want to go back to the diet. The diet is key
Hmm.
to almost anything. Now, again, I'm not talking about eating a salad, 5 times a day. I'm
Yeah,
talking about
that's
having a little bit of common sense with it. I look at it this way: we are adults. All right? I'm in my 50s. I'm not going to ask how old you are, but when I talk to my clients in the 50s, 40s, 50s, even 30s and above, we're getting to
true.
the adult range in your 30s. Of course, uh, age wise, you're an adult, but we all know a bunch of 30-year-olds that are a bunch of idiots. And I'm saying that in a loving way. Especially us guys, especially. Okay.
Hmm.
And I say that all the time. Guys don't mature until they're in their 40s. It's just that
Hmm.
simple. Sorry, guys, it's the truth. And I bet ladies out there are saying, "Yep, that's about right." so, so we know what we know what is not good for us. Pizza and beer, as good as as delicious as it is, as much as we enjoy it, we know it's not good for our bodies.
Hmm.
We know it, but we still enjoy it. We still do it. I'm not saying to give it up. I'm saying to moderate it a little bit.
Exactly.
You may not know what the good foods to put in your body is, which is fine. But you know what is not good. And once you start putting the good stuff in, your body's going to react. And going back to the core and your posture is automatically going to be more enhanced, if you will. Maybe it's not going to correct itself overnight, especially if you have posture
Hmm.
that you're slouched over all the time. Of course, it's not going to correct itself overnight. And yes, there are some extreme cases where, for whatever reason, your bone, your muscle, whatever, it has developed so you are constantly going to be slouched over. Great, fantastic. If you understand that and know that, we can work around it. You may not always have the proper um, posture of standing up straight. Fine, fantastic. That's the next extreme circumstances, I like to call it. I'm talking generally speaking. Put the good stuff in, your body's going to react in a positive way.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm rambling on here. Am I answering your questions?
Yeah, no, you're answering
Okay.
perfectly. I'm listening and I'm thinking the viewers as well. They have all the good tools for understanding the posture better than they did before. I
Good.
definitely already do because I never thought about the food, the confidence part of the posture,
Hmm.
which actually makes sense as well. And I didn't think about, when people nowadays they so just in a computer and they don't go out as much, they don't do many other things,
Hmm.
and they don't take care of themselves, and then they just feel sluggish.
Hmm.
And that's why you should start from, like you were saying, you start from little things. You don't have to start right to be bodybuilding or any of this.
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
do enough to have normal body, normal feelings, normal health.
Hmm. One thing that I would highly recommend for anyone, I don't care what your fitness level is, whether it's sitting at a computer all day long, or whether it's being a bodybuilder. I don't care who you are. I would recommend once an hour, once every 90 minutes, get up from your desk. And I'm not saying to walk around the block or walk up and down the stairs, but take 30 seconds to 60 seconds and stretch. And by stretch, I mean, put your both feet flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart, facing forward. Of course, most people are going to face forward with their feet. And then take your arms and just reach up as high as you can, and look up like like it's a touchdown or something in football, or you're reaching for the heavens, and just stretch and stretch and stretch. Try to visualize your hands away from your feet and your feet away from your hands, farther apart. And then with your arms up in the air, as far as they can stretch, bring them out to the side in the same way, almost like you want to try touching the walls beside you. Then bring it back down. Do that 2 or 3 times. It's going to, one, circulate the blood a little bit. It's going to lift any kind of fog you may have. If you have a writer's block, so to speak, might lift that a little bit. And it's going to make you breathe automatically. And from that, your back is going to possibly even adjust as you're putting your arms up and stretching like that. And I'm not saying to overdo it. I'm just saying lift your arms up and just pretend there's a gap. You want to put as much of a gap between your feet and your hands as you can. And then when your arms are outstretched, visualize touching the walls with your hands as they're out to the sides of you. Is that making sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I believe it makes sense for the viewers as well. If it doesn't make sense to you when you're watching it doesn't make sense to you, leave a comment.
Exactly. We'll love to get back with you on that one. No problem.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we covered the topic. I think we got all the valuable and most important information out for the posture.
Okay.
What the people can do. So Andrew, tell us a little bit more about the things that you do. So for the viewers who want to contact you or follow you on what else you teach.
Okay. All right. I run a company called Top Fitness Strategies. I've had it for a long time. I do a lot of video podcasts, and I do a lot of interviews as well. I have several books that I've written, and I do several things on the website, topfitnessstrategies.com. You can also find me on YouTube here. Just type in my name, DrewPoletto, or Top Fitness Strategies, because it's YouTube/Top Fitness Strategies. And I work with I don't want to say I work with, because I work with anybody, but all my teaching, all my trainings is focused for the folks over 50 years old. Does that mean that if you're 32 years old, you can't take the tips? No, of course not. You can always take tips from anybody. Are you going to agree with everything I say? Probably not. Why? Because I say it in a different kind of way. I see it more of a, like to say, common sense type of methods. I don't go overboard. I don't get into a lot of the details of, this muscle works this way, this muscle works that way, or this kind of food changes your body and this kind of chemical imbalance type thing. No, I don't do anything like that. It's all generalized for more of the folks who just want to look better, feel better, and gain some confidence. Again, I said, if your goal is to show off your body on stage, which is a fantastic goal, I would highly encourage, if that's what you want to do, go for it. That is not the way I teach, because I believe that common folks, most people don't want to show off their body on stage. They want to show off their body to their partner, possibly in their house, in the privacy of their own home. And to do that, if you look better, feel better, and gain some confidence, it's going to help out a lot that way as well.
Yeah. And that's what the important part for a workout. People think it's for, like you were saying, for somebody special, but for everyday guy, you need everyday guy, everyday woman. We need to pay attention to those little things so we can age healthy and successfully. So when we have, like, our bodies are getting older, they don't get older the way they did in the old days when they're not able to move. We have too much knowledge to age like the people did previously.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll also, and I'll throw this out there, and if you want to edit this out, you can. But on my website, I have recently started giving away the first book that I wrote, the fitness book. It's called the Inside Out, Top to Bottom Fitness Program. Go to topfitnessstrategies.com, check it out. I'm giving the book away. But my gift to you, it
Yes.
basically it goes through a simple process of understanding the the, and the way I break it down is I look at the nutrition as being the inside of the body,
Mm-hmm.
the exercise as being the outside of the body, and I basically you work them together, and they're gonna meet and be in good synchronicity, if that makes sense. So I
Mm-hmm.
basically explain all that in the book.
Yeah, that link for the book is in description as well.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So link for the book is in description. So we're gonna end up in a little bit. Beside everything else that I do, I'm also a happiness expert. So
Okay.
I ask all my guests, what is happiness for you? Not what everybody else thinks happiness is or general view of happiness, but what is happiness for you, Andrew?
Oh, what is happiness for me? Wow, that's a question that I wasn't expecting that one. What is happiness for me is living my life how I want to live it. I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere. I live on 5 acres. I have a nice pond. I have a great view of woods and everything else. So I'm not the hustle and bustle type of guy where I get caught up in city traffic or anything like that.
Mhm.
I like to go outside and just walk around. I'm not saying that I'm a big nature guy, but when you have property like I have, and it's not a bragging thing, it's just a luck thing. I lucked
That
into
sounds good.
it. You have to be outside maintaining it.
Mhm.
When I cut the grass, it takes me 3.5 to 4 hours to cut the grass in one setting. And I also have a pond I maintain, and I have animals that roam around. I don't have any pets. I don't need them. I have a pond full of fish. If I want a pet, I could go find a fish. I have deer walking around. So for me, being happy is being out there or just driving around. I really enjoy driving around by myself listening to podcasts. Don't ask
Yeah.
me how or why. It's just a thing that I just enjoy doing.
Mhm.
That's why it's
And
happiness
that's
to
what
me.
I'm pointing out to everybody. Everybody has, and that's why I asked that question because everybody has to understand. Not is what people teach about, like happiness is this and this. You have to do this. You have to
Mhm.
know what makes you happy, and you
Right.
just explain perfectly what makes you happy.
Thank
So
you. Thank
that's
you.
good. Yeah. So, any last words before we get end?
No, just realize that you have one body. You was given one body to do whatever you need to with it. Don't abuse it. Again, I'm not saying that you have to be the bodybuilder. I'm not saying you have to be the show off your body on stage person. But my word, don't sit on the couch all day. Use your body what it was designed to do.
Move around.
I just can't understand the person who wants to sit on a couch all day. Could I do it? Absolutely, I could. I would feel miserable if I did that all day long at the end of the day. That's just me, though,
Yeah.
because I understand now that the human body is designed to do something. So once you understand that, okay, I want to move my body in a way where I'm going to get the most out of life that I possibly can. There's a whole world out there to explore. Being on your couch inside on front of the computer, whatever, you're not going to get to explore it much. Go out there and have fun. Move your body, have fun. That's the whole
Mhm.
point of life.
Yeah, and that's what now actually let's go a little bit further. Because a lot of people what happens, they do their job all day long, they
Hmm.
work all day long, and then they get home and then they sit down on the couch. That's what
Hmm.
happens. So
Hmm.
that's why they ended up more on couch. That's kind of the cycle they had to break. And also they think like because they being at work, maybe it's a job that they have to move a lot. So they move
Hmm.
a lot, but they don't understand that's monotonic movement. You're always having the same movements,
Hmm.
and your body, it doesn't help your body because it makes you stiff on the same movements. You have to at least, like you said, stretch, do something. Even if you, like, say, you don't have a job that you have to sit behind a computer, but
Right.
your job involves moving around, I think you still have to do that stretch that you're doing, where you
Hmm.
act like making your body to do something different from those automatic motions.
Right. 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 Now you mentioned that, and this is a happiness a live stream, a podcast. If you're if your job makes you work outside all day long, I used to be a landscaper. I used to be a ditch digger. I know in the Florida sun. So I know how hot it is when you're doing that for 12, 13 hours a day. You just want to come home and relax, in an air conditioner or something. And I get it. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I know how it all works. The thing you have, if that's your job, more power to you. That's grueling work. I tip my hat to you. You also have to plan some time to do something to make you happy. If all you do is work, 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 and then come home and sit and watch TV and go to bed and work, 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 and do the same thing, you're not going to be happy. You're just not. So going with the thing and throw posture, workouts, everything else out the window. For happiness, schedule something. If it's for yourself, great. And I'm not saying take a vacation around the world. I'm saying maybe take yourself out to a movie. Go by yourself. Do something that's going to get away from the everyday monotonous lifestyle that you feel like you might be in a rut. Unless you schedule something, unless you particularly change something, it's not going to change. Life happens whether you want to use it or not. Enjoy it. Go for it. Schedule the change. Schedule a day where you're just going to go walking around the neighborhood. If you live in a city, schedule a day you're going to walk up and down the block just to check out new stores or visit new people. Just schedule it. And you'll be surprised how much that's going to change your life as well.
Thank you. That was perfect advice. For to confirm as well, the way I don't just talk my show and everything. It's not just about happiness. That's why I like bringing different topics in, because it's happiness is also not about being happy all the time. It's about having all the emotions, and that's why
Right.
my show is actually about like all the things: the smarts, the money, health, and what else? What I have? Smart. Oh, it's smart, happy, pretty rich. So all
There you
those
go.
things, like, but it's like
Well,
pretty.
happy, pretty rich. I like that. That's great.
Yeah. But you were saying that pretty is also healthy.
Yes.
You were saying that you looking better when you're healthy. You look better
Mm-hmm.
for men and women, for both of
Mm-hmm.
us. That's the thing. And that's why posture is important. Working out is important. Food is important.
Mm-hmm.
Going out and having fun. All those things together. Like you were just saying, you building your own life, and so letting life happen to you.
Right. Right.
So, well, I think we got a great show out here.
Well, I
So,
appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Andrew, so much. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for all your knowledge. And for the viewers, watch another episode, subscribe, and like we both said, go and have fun. That's most important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay.